Now, regression testing techniques. This includes the first thing is performing an initial smoke or sanity testing. Next is, first let me read out and I'll explain you. Second is understanding the criteria for selecting the test case. Third is classifying the test case into different priorities. Fourth, a methodology for selecting a test case. Fifth, restarting the test case for test execution. And sixth is concluding the results of regression testing. So let us see one by one. The first is perform an initial smoke testing. So a smoke testing is normally referred in a hardware lab that tests till your hardware is short circuited. A smoke comes out. Like I'm testing my processor rigorously, I'm testing my processor or my any hardware material in which what happens is I'm I'm trying hard. I'm giving the input. I'm just testing till the processor becomes hot and it keeps up or it busted out. So the initial the smoke comes out. So in regression testing, what happens is how what the smoke is not actually you burn your software, but let us see how that comes. So whenever now here regression is always talks about the changes. So whenever changes are made to a product, it should be first made sure that nothing basic breaks. That means my code should not be hampered. Now for example, if I'm building a database, then any of the build of the database should able to start it up. The build should not hamper my entire functionality or a feature. Later it should not hamper my output. So for example, I'm doing a minimum operation, basic operation about queries or data definition or data manipulation or shutdown operation. So, if this is my database operation and when I want to ensure my key interfaces to other product, so this has to be done before performing any of the tests. So what happens is the code has to be corrected to solve this. But nothing should be break, nothing should be burned down. So, my smoke test consists of identifying the basic functionality that a product must satisfy. Now, as I said, my database from the database, beginning from the database, start, then queries, data definition, data manipulation, and the shutdown. So, during this process, my database code or database the values should not be hampered. So, first, as I said, the basic functionality that the product must satisfy. Second, designing the test case to ensure that basic functionality work and packaging them into a smoke test suite. That means it should not give up. Ensuring that every time a product is built, this suite is run successfully. Yes, that means build means in fact if anything changes. If this suit fails, escalating to the developers to identify changes and perhaps or roll back to changes. Where the smoke test suit succeeds. So that my changes should be accommodated without changing the existing meaning. And it should be carried out without breaking the code, without breaking or hampering the output. The defects in the product can be introduced not only by the code but also by the build script. I hope you are understanding that if the build is come up, if the build is built up, again my output of the code or entire code meaning should not be changed. It should be the same as it was earlier, except the new features added or the defect has been fixed, either of the two. So it is important as research conducted in the past revealed in the configuration management. Now next is understanding the criteria for selecting the test case. So having performed a smoke test, the product can be assumed the value of being subjected to the detailed test. So there are two approaches of the test case of the regression testing. The first is in order in order to cover all the fixes, the constant set of test regression test, of course, that keeps on running for every build or a change. Yes, why? The same thing. The same thing is keeping the meaning, the changes in the mind, like if the build or the changes is accommodated. Build is for the version release or changes if when I say there is a change as a customer, I define there is a change in my requirement and this requirement change in the requirement has to be implemented without changing the external behavior. These two things is must. The first thing that it should be not be side effects, unintended side effects. It should not cause any breakups, any following errors or any kind of defect. That organization should choose to have a constant set of regression testings. Yes. And second approach is to select the test kits dynamically for each build by making the choice of the test case. Regression testing of the test case should be done immediately once the patch is released or when the changes is released. Release means implemented. For my word, I can use. Now, what happens is the defect fixes and changes made in the current build. The ways to test the current changes, the impact of the current changes may have on other parts of the system. Of course, other models can also be changed because of the reflecting behavior of the previous module. It can happen. And the ways of testing can impact in the types of testing also. So this says us that we have to select certain test cases. We have a criteria for selecting of our test cases that includes a maximum defect in the past so that we can again say, yes, now it is clear. The defects are being fixed. Next, second, we can include the test cases of a functionality in which a change has been made. Third, we can use the test cases which are problems have been reported earlier so that again the same test cases can be identified. Yes, this has a problem. Let us test it once again. And we have to identify the test cases both have function and non-functionality problem from the core of features of the product. So in this way, we understand the criteria for selecting the test cases. But the selection of the test cases for regression testing depends more on the impact of defects, fixes, than the criticality of the defect itself. Because we are emphasized or we are focused on defect fixes rather than the defects popping up. Now, it may happen that defects are popping up, but rather than fixing it up, I'm just saying the defects are coming up. So I'll just call the development team and I'll say the defects are still coming up. You need to check the code again. Again, they will go through the backward behind the versions and follow all the steps, all the approaches to conquer those defects. Now, next is classifying the test cases. Now here, the test cases have to be selected dynamically for each regression run. It would be worthy to plan for regression testing from beginning of project when the test cycle begins. So, to enable the choosing from the right test cases, it has categorized into three. So priority 0 says that these test cases are called sanity test cases which checks the basic functionality and these run for accepting the build for further testing. They also run when product goes through a major change, when there is a major change is implemented in the requirements. Remember, the requirements and the modules or the functions go hand in hand. These test cases deliver a high project value to both product team, development team and the customers. Priority 1, that was a priority 0. Priority 1 is using a basic and normal setup. The test cases delivers the higher project value. Now, the third is priority 2 is these test cases deliver moderate project value. They are executed as a part of the testing cycle. Now, let us see fourth, the methodology for selecting the test cases. So, what are those methodology? Now, what is actually the things? What are the criteria or methodology for selecting? Let us see. Now, once in the previous part we said that the three cases, the three priorities, the test cases can be selected. Now we have that there could be several right approaches to regression testing which need to be decided on case to case basis. Now let us see how critically and impact of defect fixes after the test cases are classified into several priorities. The case 1. If the critically and impact of defect fixes are low, then it is enough that test engineer selects a few test cases from test case database. That means my fixes, my critically and impact of defect is being categorized. So that is if that is low, so the test engineer selects a very few cases from test case database. That is my TCDD. Now my case 2 is if critically and impact of the defect fixes are medium, then we need to execute all priority 0 and priority 1 test cases. And third is if critically and impact of the defect fixes are high, we need to execute all priority 1, priority 2 and priority 3 priority 0, priority 1 and carefully select some of the priority 2 test cases. Now, this can be a time-consuming procedure. For some reason, there is not enough time and the risk of not doing an impact analysis will be low. So, an alternative methodology can be suggested. Now, let us see next, resetting the test cases for regression testing. Here, test cases result is in the history is required. Earlier, we used a test case database where we can select or choose from the test case database about the test case for the test cases. Now, we are creating a history in it. Test case result history is required so that we could know what would be the output if they are critically or impactfully, they are low, high, or severe. Then we have test case history provides a wealth of information what test cases are executed and when because it provides the entire history who executed when, why, what, output, severe, priority based, every sort of internal details will be revealed. So resetting a test case is nothing but setting a flag. It's a flag. Either it's not run or execute again in your test case database. So in the database, it is stored as a flag value. Now in your microprocessor, you have read flag value as set or reset. So when your microprocessor or any hardware integrated chip, when you studied about 8255 or 8253 in this kind of PIC control, PIC was programmable controller or any sort of clock um, IC. So what was that? It was a flag value whether to reset or set IC. So 0 could be set or 1 could be reset. Any value or mask, you mask them, right? So the same concept is being introduced here. So a value has been set or has been validated here that is not run or execute again in the database. So when you check test case database, you will find all the results and you will make an history. No, it will have a history inside it. So resetting test case reduces the risk in testing defect fixes by making the tester to go through all the test cases and selecting appropriate test cases based on impact value. So what happens is resetting test case is not expected to done often. It needs the following condition when there is a major change, when there is a change in the build procedure which affects the product, then large release cycle, when the product is in a final regression testing cycle with a few selected test cases. Then we have whenever existence application functionality is removed, the related test cases can be reset when main important concept has been removed, and I don't want that. So what remains? That it remains the test cases need to reset. Test cases consistently providing me the negative result. So this has to be removed. So there are few differences between rerun and reset test in the test cases. So we use the reset, we expect a different result what was obtained in earlier cycle. Now last is concluding the result of the test integration. So we have to conclude, that means the regression test uses the test cases which have executed more than once. So it is expected to have 100% of test cases passes. It should pass 100%. It should not give up or should not be negative when the same build is introduced and if defects are fixed correctly. So to conclude the regression testing, we say, we successful or not, we say if a result of a particular test case was passed using the previous build and failed in the current build, the regression failed. Did you understand this? That if the result of particular test case was passed using the previous build, two builds were introduced that in the previous build, my test case was passed, but my test case when I introduced the current build, when I used a version release, it failed. So my regression testing failed. Now, second, if the result of a particular test case was failed using the previous build and passed in the current build, the difference. It is the combination and permutations of your previous and current build so that your regression testing is classified whether the regression testing was successful or it failed. In the third, we see if the result of a particular test case was failed in the previous build and it failed in the current build, but there is no defect found or no defect fixes for the particular test case, the result should not be considered. Now, this is null and void. If the result of a particular test case is failed using previous build but works with documented and workaround and satisfied with the workaround and considered it as pass. This is little bit theoretical part, but in reality it's like if it is not a pass regression testing, again it has to go to the certain process. So this in this way we have finished our regression testing techniques. If you want, you can make your own regression testing test cases, database and test cases history and check accordingly. Till then, we